Now it's Sparage taking the shot, scores!
What a move! What a goal! How about that?
Handles his way to the net, scores! Oh my goodness!
Welcome inside our league studio, everyone. I'm Alex Bastiavansky, and yes, this is NOJHL Game Day. There are some big matchups about to go down today, and I am here to get you all ready for puck drop in just a few minutes. So let's get to it.
Cohan wheeling around, cuts to the bottom of the left faceoff circle, sits in the net, it's loose in front, and it's in, they score!
Cameron Shanks gave Sudbury the early lead against the T-Birds with his 50th career NOJHL goal. Thomas Mercier, tell us what else went down.
Goals scored and goals allowed with 10 per side for a goal differential of 0. Wraparound chance, scores! And there's goal number 50 in the career of Samuel Asinaway. Or Rubik with a hit on McPherson. 2-1 at a penalty, do not get one. And look out, it's redirected and into the back of the net. Nolan Nemisek getting the last touch on it. It's the Cubs heading to their 5th penalty kill of the night. They're a perfect 4 for 4 though, when killing off penalties. Here's a pass right in the middle though. Finland through the 5-hole, he scores! 10 seconds into the power play, and the Thunderbirds have tied it on the man advantage. So again, my apologies on that. Asinaway walking, firing, redirected, score! No, they wave it off! It was deflected in front by Dax Klinkhammer and immediately washed out by Kyle Lagoon. Now it's picked up by Bouchard, brings it ahead for Newton, trying to get around his man, and he does. Newton, great pass, Lamoureux, and an even better stop by Noah Mativier. What a play out of nowhere. Trying to escape from Chestnut. Klinkhammer with a little spin move, gets it down low with Sinaway, looking to return it to the front, and then he does, they score! Dax Klinkhammer! The first one was taken away, but he will not be denied the second time. First NOJHL goal for Dax Klinkhammer, and with 3:04 left in regulation, the Cubs have the lead back.
New Cub Dax Klinkhammer with the late game winner. Happy birthday to Cubs broadcaster Thomas Mercier, by the way, who celebrated his 29th yesterday. 4 games on the schedule for today. The Lumberjacks against the Voodoos, Espanola taking on the Vikings, the Rock and the Storm, and the Sioux Eagles will visit the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners. Powassan versus Hearst, let's start there. The first meeting of the year between the two teams. The Voodoos 2-3 over their last 5 contests, and last time out they lost to Blind River 2-1 on Sunday. Hearst 3-2 over their last 5 games. Mixed bag last week. They snapped the Cubs' 13-game winning streak, but also fell 5-1 to French River at home. Timmins will tangle with Iroquois Falls. The Rock are 2-0 against the Storm this year, outscoring them 13-1. Timmins is coming off a 6-2 win over French River on Sunday. The Storm are also 2-3 in their last 5. They lost 4-3 to the Sudbury Cubs in a great close encounter on Saturday. Espanola will take on Elliott Lake. The Paper Kings beat them 6-5 at the Showcase on October 1st. Espanola had that big comeback win, 7-4 over the T-Birds. On Saturday, they are 2-1 over their last 5. Elliott Lake, last time out, lost to Blind River 5-3. On Saturday, they are 1-4 over their last 5. Finally, the Sioux Eagles are in Kirkland Lake. The Sioux spanked them 7-1 back on October 12th. The Eagles beat Powassan 3-2 in a great late win. On Saturday, they are 3-2 over their last 5. The Gold Miners dropped a 3-0 decision to Timmins on Saturday, and they are currently 1-4 through their last 5 contests. Okay, who else is hot at the moment around the league? A few guys on significant point streaks. Tyler Fordson being one of them for the Sioux Eagles. He is on an 8-gamer right now. 1 goal, 9 assists. Lucas Signoretti continues to be up near the top of the league scoring race, and he's currently on a 5-game point streak. 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points over that streak. Finally, Alexander Dubuque, red hot right now. He's on a 7-game point streak, 13 points, 6 goals, and 7 assists. Your CJHL rankings, the Cubs continue to hold strong at number 5, and the Lumberjacks also remain in the top 20 rankings at number 19. Your primetime player from last night, Noah Mativier of the Sioux Thunderbirds, did not pick up the win, but he was unreal against the Cubs. They peppered him with shots. He stopped 34 of 37, including that beauty right there. And your play of the day brought to you by BrokerLink Auto, Home, and Business Insurance. BrokerLink, life is confusing. Your insurance shouldn't be, and it belongs to Dax Klinkhammer, the newest Sudbury Cub, who had the late game winner against the Sioux Thunderbirds.
Escape from Chestnut. Klinkhammer with a little spin move. Gets it down low with Sinaway. Looking to return it to the front of the net. Yes, they score! Dax Klinkhammer! The first one was taken away, but he will not be denied the second time. First NOJHL goal for Dax Klinkhammer.
And just as a reminder, to stay up to date with everything all season long that's going on in the NOJHL, you can check out the league's official social media outlets. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Off to the rink now for puck drop. Enjoy the game.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalie-resiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency.
And we welcome you inside the Powassan Sportsplex for Friday night hockey in P-Town. That's right, the Powassan Voodoos are hosting the Hearst Lumberjacks here at home for the first meeting between these two teams this season. A rematch, or I should say, it is the first meeting. I was going to say, no, they traveled north, but they had some bit of an issue on the bus ride to Hearst with the highway being closed for over 12 hours. I'm Courtney Kenny, pleased to be joined by Ben Sargent. And this is a rematch of the first round of the NOJHL playoffs in the East Division last year, and it should be a good one. That was a series that the Voodoos won 4-1 in 5 games before heading on to Timmins, winning that series in 7 before falling in 5 to the Sudbury Cubs in the NOJHL Finals. But always an exciting time here in Powassan, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely, and these teams, they know each other very well. In fact, for those who don't know, the Hearst Lumberjacks used to be the North Bay Skyhawks a long time ago, and the North Bay Trappers, so there is a lot of connection between both these franchises. And in just head-to-head in the last 5 seasons, it's very equal. The Voodoos 7-3-4-0, the Lumberjacks 7-5-2-0. So very even between these two. I think the big thing we're going to be looking at today is going to be goal scoring, which right now the Lumberjacks lead the entire league with 90 goals in 19 games. But on the other side, the Voodoos have had some really good net minding with both goaltenders sporting a below 3 goals against average.
Yeah, Austin Seibel and Tyson Wilcox have been impressive for sure. You talk about the goal scoring. There's 4 players on the Lumberjacks with double-digit goals. That's Aiden Callan with 11, Donhaven Veilleux with 10, Damian Bourdon Lemoyne with 10, and Bronson Babiak with 10. Whereas on the other side of things, Caden Cowell's the only one in double digits in goals for the Voodoos with 10. The next closest, of course, being Caden Dubroy with 9. Some sure could argue he does have 10, but there was a bit of a controversial goal called back on him about a month ago. But yeah, so the high-flying Hearst Lumberjacks is going to be up to Powassan to try and stop things up. And, I mean, again, you talk about the goaltending, and it's been very impressive from the Voodoos side of things as well. And I think coming out of training camp, not many people thought that the goaltending would be a strength of this team.
No, and I think right from the get-go, we had a little bit of shuffling, right, with Miles Gordon leaving the organization, and with Austin Seibel coming in. I was there for his first game, and he looked good, but he had a little bit of shakiness from time to time. But overall, he's looked good, and it feels like he's really kind of come into the role. Again, when you look at it, he's 4-4 in 10 games, a 2.68 goals against average, 925% save percentage. We've seen some really solid lateral movement from him, but more importantly, he does a good job of squaring up and positioning himself to the shooter. So it'll be very interesting to see kind of like two immovable objects colliding right now. I think the big thing you have to look at too from a goal scoring perspective, half of the Lumberjacks roster has over 10 points altogether. When you look at the other side, the Voodoos, they only have four players with 10 points or more: Dubroy, Russo, Peltier, and Cowell. And even with Cowell, it's only because he's been on a heater in his last 9 games that we've seen him get up to the 10-goal mark. It's been a little more spread out throughout the lineup, but it's going to be big for Peter Goulet and his team to get some goal scoring, and they're going to have to not get behind early. It's going to be interesting. I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think this is going to end up being a 1-0, 2-1 style of game if I think the Voodoos come out on top.
Yeah, if Hearst comes out on top, it's going to be a high-scoring game. If the Voodoos come out on top, it's definitely a 1-goal game. You talked about Caden Cowell, who is also the most recent guest on the Frontline podcast, along with Owen Call. He's taken off since Thanksgiving. In the past 9 games, a former North Bay Trapper forward and Espanola Paper King forward has 8 goals and 9 assists for 17 points in 9 games. That's what you call productive.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's just been doing really, really well. One of the people I want to keep an eye on too on that top line with Russo is actually Caleb Dawson, a guy who we've seen has had success here in this league. Only has picked up 2 goals in 18 games so far, and he's playing on that top line. Him and Anthony Boyes, we've seen what they can do with the Trappers. We've seen what Dawson can do in this ground. Anthony Boyes, another guy, 10 games, he's only gotten 4 points. On a top line with Russo, I'd like to see that lineup go a little bit more. The same idea with Jack Nolan. Nolan 5 goals, but they all kind of came from that one game against French River. So it's going to be a very important game to get those guys going, get those guys on the score sheet a little bit.
It will be indeed. And you talk about Anthony Boyes. He was injured for about a month, so he sat at 8 games, played with 4 points, and that's a 0.5 point a game average, which isn't a bad thing for sure. Jack Nolan, speaking of goals, we want to see this guy get going a little bit. He has 5 goals on the season, which is great, but they all came in one game against French River early in October. He has 5 goals and 3 assists in 11 games so far, so maybe not necessarily the offense they thought that they were getting when they went out and acquired him, but definitely one game. Another busy thing for this week, though, the Voodoos' birthdays. There's quite a few of them. Lucas DeCallaway, who's not playing tonight, he turns 20. We'll see here tomorrow night in Powassan, the Sioux Eagles that is, and then they lost to Blind River as well. And all those games against Blind River so far this season have been tightly contested. 1 or 2 goal differences. The Voodoos won the first one at the NOJHL Showcase. The Beavers came back here and won in overtime, and then the Voodoos fell last weekend, of course, in Blind River. But we're going to get ready now for the national anthems as the 2 teams are out on the ice now, and we'll get ready in just a moment. Here come the national anthems.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the river's fight? Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sailors, that star-spangled banner yet wave. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the to make it love in all thy sons command, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix, ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand, oh God, for thee. Oh Canada, we stand,
Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by The Clubhouse by Gateway Golf. Located on Oak Street East in North Bay, Ontario, with over 200 plus real-time courses, simulator arcade games, and delicious eats, The Clubhouse is North Bay's newest social hangout.
All right, here's your starting lineup. Liam Boswell, Henry Ouellette, and Bronson Babiak out on the ice for the Lumberjacks, along with Jean-Pierre Audras and Cole Miller in net. Alexandre Brovin with a .910 save percentage of .298, goals against average is 8-2 on the season. On the other side of things, it's the Voodoos. Anthony Boyce, Justin Russo, Caleb Dawson up front, Jackson Smith and Marcus Kratz on the back end. Austin Seibel, who's 4-4 on the season with a .268 goals against average and a .928 save percentage. I'm Courtney, he's Ben, and we're underway here at the Sportsplex as the Voodoos won the draw back into their own zone. The Lumberjacks are going left to right to start this frame, and Anthony Boyes into Lumberjacks territory. Boyes with the puck deep in there, gets it out front for Russo, couldn't get a shot away, and now the puck's out for the Lumberjacks. The Voodoos in their home greens are going right to left. Jackson Smith, good to see him back out there. He was out for a little bit with an injury. He made his return last weekend, and this is his first home game in some time. Lumberjacks with the puck in their own zone. Down the ice quickly. Boswell walks in. Boswell takes the shot. Seibel off the side. Rebound off the end board. Came to the near side. And that would have been a wide open cage, but Lumberjacks couldn't corral it. Now into the corner. Boswell tried to get out front. Dubroy, good stick, broke that play up. Now Babiak with the puck. Leaves it for Ouellette. Ouellette going cross ice, but they weren't in a shooting spot for that. That was Blyer with it. Now behind the net. Back to the point again. Schillinglaw takes a shot. That one's blocked by Dubroy, but not out of the Voodoos territory. Now Nolan with the puck. Got it down the ice. Call tried to find Dubroy in the center of the ice, but it's sent right back in by the Lumberjacks. Gloved down by Seibel and left for McKillop. Far side, McKillop, he skated by the puck after he'd given it to his D partner, Rotundo. Now the puck does come out front and sent wide. Hearst back on attack here. Given away though, and Caden Cowell sends the puck down the ice, gets it into Hearst territory. No, he doesn't. He'll be delayed offside as Misa sends it in. And now we do get a stoppage here. And the puck is going to come out of Lumberjacks territory.
Well, Boswell, Ouellette, and Bronson combined for 60 points already between the three of them in 19 games. And we saw right from the get-go there, the Lumberjacks kind of pinning down the Voodoos in their own zone. One of the things we're going to have to watch, it might be the Voodoos' MO here this evening, will be can they counterattack? Can they take that pressure in their own zone, break out, and try and get some one-on-one or favorable two-on-one situations down in the Lumberjacks zone? It might be one of the ways that they're going to be able to get through the defense of the Lumberjacks here today.
McKay with the puck, gets it in deep past Rotunda, or the box, I should say. Voodoos also have a lot of players out this game, dealing with injuries and flus. Now the puck down the ice is a 2-on-1 with Cowell and Misa. Cowell walks in. Cowell tried to get it out front, but a good stick there by the Lumberjacks to gate that. Now loose puck in front. Oh, a couple of chances there for the Voodoos, and they couldn't bank one past the goaltender, Boivin. Now Coleman sends the puck in deep. The Voodoos with the first grade A chance here of this game.
Well, I just got finished saying you're going to have to stretch and get some one-on-one, two-on-one situations. Exactly what the Voodoos do, and we'll have to see how they can break down this neutral zone attack from the Lumberjacks as well.
Nice little move there for the Jacks to get into Voodoos territory now. Another chance back to the point, back for Miller. Miller sends the puck in to the side of the net. Now it's back at the blue line for Audris. Audris with the shot, and that comes out of play in one of the only places here at the Sportsplex that doesn't have netting, the Zamboni door.
Yeah, it's also the bane of our existence when it comes to penalties as well.
Yeah, don't tell me about it.
But a great start to this game so far. As you mentioned, these teams were supposed to face each other off in Hearst earlier on this year. I think it's a very long road trip, and I feel like the Voodoos would rather have played that game than get stuck in a bus for 12 hours and not play the game.
They still made it to Hearst and stayed in the hotel.
But it's as explosive as you would expect for this team to these two teams to play already.
Yeah, lots of distance here between these two foes. Now the puck down the ice. Another chance stopped by Seibel, and he makes a big glove there. You talk about the webs we weave with these teams. You mentioned earlier about how this was the old former Skyhawks / Trappers organization in North Bay. Chris Dawson was a general manager of that team, so before he became general manager of the Voodoos.
Well, and the Skyhawks were a team like when we were growing up. The Centennials were around, but they were kind of gone by the early 2000s, as it's right off the draw, covered up there by Seibel.
Yeah, the Skyhawks were the draw in town when we were kids.
And I'll never forget there was one player. Do you remember the Dusty guy?
Yeah, Dustin McCrank.
Yeah.
He was a referee in the OHL.
Is he actually?
Yeah.
So, fun fact, I will never forget the time that he scored a hat trick and climbed over the glass. That was one of those moments you don't forget.
It's seared in your memory.
It is, yeah.
The old Memorial Gardens with the curtains at the end.
Yep.
What a wild rink. As a puck off the draw, big save by Seibel with the glove hand. Yeah, the Gardens doesn't look anything like that anymore. It actually has a regulation-sized rink in there now, too.
Yeah, they did all the renovations thanks to Craft Hockeyville.
Well, and of course, the battalion coming back.
Oh, and the battalion, yeah. Those tax dollars were definitely going to work there.
Yeah, no one at City Council got in trouble over that one at all. As the Voodoos still hemmed in their zone here, can't get it out. Rotundo on the near side. It does come out to the middle of the ice. Ellard sends it right back to the far side, and then Allard and Allard, say that 5 times fast, try to get the puck out.
That's your job.
I don't like that. Nose goes. I can't see it. I'm touching my nose. Rotundo with the puck on the near side. As the Voodoos still having troubles getting out of their zone. They finally do, and it's kept just at the offside face-off dot and sent right back in by the Lumberjacks. Seibel out to play it. Sent down the ice by Denchuk. Denchuk has about a foot on everybody in this game. He's a tall boy, that's for sure. Far side again, Hearst with possession in the Voodoo zone. Shot comes in, and Seibel with the save. And now Hearst again, still keeping Voodoos in their zone. Although the shots are 3-1 so far, through 4.5 minutes, it's been all Hearst, except for the one chance that Powassan got. Hearst coming free with it. Roulette got the puck to the blue line, but it's not out. It's sent back in by the Lumberjacks. Now McKillop with the puck. McKillop stops up, gains some space, sends it on to the far side for Coleman. Coleman flips it right back for McKillop. McKillop rims it around the board, is down the ice, and Paquette picks it up in the neutral zone. Paquette had a Voodoo all over him, but now it's sent right back in for Ouellette. Ouellette, one man to beat, can't quite get through there. Seibel plays the puck, and it's left out now. Going the other way is Jack Nolan. Nolan left it behind, and that caused an offside. Jack Nolan is also a former Hearst Lumberjack as well, playing for them last year.
Yeah, and a little split-second hesitation there forces that offside. And one of the things that the Lumberjacks are doing really, really well so far in this game is they're putting so much pressure on the Voodoos that they need to immediately think of exactly where they want to put the puck. And right now the Voodoos are having troubles figuring out what they want to do with it. But the one good thing that Powassan's doing right now is, yes, there's been a lot of offensive zone time for Hearst, but the Voodoos are keeping them to the outside. There hasn't been too many good opportunities on Seibel so far.
Puck won by the Lumberjacks down into Voodoo's territory. Kratz with the puck. Kratz goes around behind his net. He's been fun to watch in his short time in Powassan so far. And the puck sent down. That'll go for icing. And we'll get a stoppage here. 14:26 left in the first.
Yeah, and it's been a great start to this game. And we talked about we've been talking a little bit about the overall standings. that we've seen, and it's still a very tight race. Yes, the Voodoos have climbed themselves up to 7th as they picked up and they made up some of the games that they were missing earlier on in the month of October, as we're now almost mid-November now. But when you look at this, they're tied with Espanola with 18 points. Iroquois right there. French River's still right there. Again, a big 2 points on the table here, as it's a very congested field until, with Greater Sudbury, of course, leading the way. Over 9 points, 37 points altogether, 9 points ahead of Hearst here in second. As the puck comes down into the Voodoo zone, it's going to be no icing as it's called off.
Sorry, just a little bit of technical difficulties. If you're listening to us, well, it's because you were on YouTube. Apparently we're still not on Flow Hockey, so there's some issues on their side of things. And hopefully we're able to give you the game here at some point on Flow Hockey. As Seibel gets the puck in, and it's stopped by him and covered up by the goaltender.
Well, again, and we go back a little bit to the standings there. What hurt the Voodoos was they recently went on a trip down to the south to face the Sioux teams in Blind River and went away 0-3. Now, one of the good things about that was all those games were relatively tight. Those three teams have shown that they've been very strong in the past few years, including this season. So that's something you got to take, that I think Peter Goulet is going to be happy with his team about, was they've been able to keep the goals down. In fact, they've only given up 5 goals a handful of times this season. So they've been able to keep the actual goals given up down.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, but still not able to get any points, which at the end of the day is all that matters.
Yeah, the Voodoos have been stingy defensively. They just don't have the offensive firepower so far this year. We talked about that off the hop. Dawson gets the puck to Boys, but it's knocked away from him. And again, it's been all Hearst here so far through the opening 7 minutes. As the puck left in Voodoos territory, Russo with it. Flips it down the ice. It's a new look line, as before when they were on that heater, it was Russo with Pelche and Cowell. Now Russo's out there with Boys and Dawson, 2 of his former U18 Trapper teammates. As the puck down the ice, they're going to beat out the icing though, as Patterson tried to get to it, but Seibel knocks it away from him. Now Bourdon Lemoyne got the puck to Como. Como takes the shot, and that one's stopped by the blocker of Seibel. Now on the near side again, back to Schillinglaw. Schillinglaw takes another shot, and that one again stopped by Seibel. Another shot comes in, stopped by the goaltender, and we'll get another stoppage in play here.
Well, again, the one thing the Voodoos are doing well here is they're keeping the puck to the outside. I said that earlier on. A couple of good shots from Schillinglaw there from the point. But again, if you think of that slot area as a red zone on the ice, not a lot of opportunities have come from there, and it's been pretty comfortable, I think, for Seibel so far in this game to make saves. But at that same time, you're still playing with fire, and with how good this Hearst team is, you can only go so long before they're going to find the back of the net.
Allard tries to chip the puck out of the zone. He doesn't, but it gets it to Schunborn. Schunborn does get out of the zone. And now Allard with the puck. Got it back for his man, though, Schillinglaw. And the puck right back down into Voodoo's territory. Sharp angle shot, stopped by Seibel. Already the 8th shot he's faced in just under 8 minutes played.
Yeah, and so far, again, Hearst looking dangerous here, and you can see why their team reminds me a lot of the Timmins Rock of past years that they've had. They've had a really good start to the season. As I mentioned, only 9 points behind Greater Sudbury with 2 games in hand. Hearst 13-5 so far this year. Scored the most amount of goals. What's really going to be a key for them is, can they keep the puck out of the net? They've done a pretty good job this year, and that's a pretty surefire way of going deep in the playoffs.
Cowell got the puck up for Pelche. Pelche lost the puck, though, and now it's sent back for Schillinglaw. Schillinglaw left it at his blue line. Cowell all over his man. And now Pelche comes in and gets it. Cowell walks in, takes a shot, he scores! Caden Cowell! And the Voodoos are in flight as Cowell gets his 11th of the season.
That's exactly what you wanted for the Voodoos. Again, on the counterattack, they don't get a lot of offensive zone time, but they've taken advantage of what they've had. That's their second or third really good opportunity in the first half of this opening frame. And again, you look at Caden Cowell, and you need a goal right away. He's the guy who's been delivering in the last 9 games. Coming into this again, since Thanksgiving weekend, found himself 8 goals, 9 assists, 17 points, put 1 more on the tally there. A big start for the Voodoos. Exactly what they wanted against a high-scoring Hearst side.
Caden Cowell, we've seen the last couple of games, especially, he scored a couple against Timmins. Puck down the ice now, Vayu walks in. Vayu to the sharp angle side. Blocked down by Seibel. And now the puck's still left there. Well, we've seen Caden Cowell score a couple of goals. So sharp angle chance, couple of bounces, and another stop by Seibel, who now covers it up. That's his 11th shot against us already, and now we see a Voodoo player going off to the dressing room as well. But that being said, Caden Cowell in the game against Timmins a couple of weeks ago, how many goals did he score from just outside of the face-off dots? His shot is deadly.
Yeah, and we've seen it time and time again. He's one of those guys who is going to be a huge part of this Voodoos team. As we talked, they lost a lot of offensive firepower over the offseason, and they've had a little bit of slow starts from some of their guys I think that Peter was hoping would be a big contributors, and Cowell has really stepped up.
Walking in is Hearst near side. That's a chance there by Taylor, but it just hits a body and goes into the behind the net. Now out front, knocked back and kicked down the ice by Call. And going for a quick skate after that one is Dubroy, but out to play it is Boivin. Puck by Hearst out of their zone, down the ice for Coleman. Coleman just dumps it right in on Boivin, and is kicked aside. Now Hearst with possession in their own zone, quickly up the ice and down. There you go. That's Patterson, the leading scorer, one of the leading scorers here on this team, with 18 points. Now Miller with another chance. It's kicked away by a body in front. Second shot misses the net entirely. Patterson, far side. Saved there by Seibel on the one-timer. Another chance. Big save by Seibel as he kicks that one aside. Wow, what a save by number 1 in green. Como with the shot. It's blocked by Nolan. And the bouncing puck, he whacks at it. Comes up and out of play into the netting. And with 9:58 left on the clock, that brings us to our mid-period break. And we'll be back with more on the other side of this.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Well, as we've seen so far in this hockey game, 1-0 the Voodoos, with Caden Cowell getting his 11th of the year. And again, early on in this game, at 12-3, the Hearst Lumberjacks are outshooting the Voodoos. It really has been a sense that the Hearst has been dominating this game for the most part. We've seen some breakouts from the Voodoos, and they took advantage of that with that wicked shot from Cowell. But it feels like it's just a matter of time before the Hearst finds a goal here. Seibel keeping them in it so far. A couple of beautiful saves in the last 2 minutes or so of game time. But if you're the Voodoos, you get a chance to have a quick timeout, a quick conversation. They've got to figure out a little bit of their defense. They've got to try to keep from being pinned in their zone as much as they have been. And if you're Hearst, you just got to keep doing what you're doing. I think eventually you'll find the back of the net.
Yeah, they've had a lot of great looks. Already 12 shots on goal to North Base 3. On the bright side, if you're, or Powassan, I should say, on the bright side, if you're Powassan, your shooting percentage is 33% on the game.
It's true. It doesn't really matter how many shots you get. It's about what goes in.
That was the 2013 Leafs MO, and look how it worked out. They were up 4-1 against Boston.
Yeah, how did that work out?
I vividly remember an interview with Nazem Kadri saying, it doesn't matter about the quantity, it matters about the quality. Well, sure.
We just saw a beautiful burst of speed from Cowell there just to beat out that icing call and almost get a chance on net.
Kratz with the puck in his own zone. With the pucks twisting and turning behind the net. Now it's up for Dubroy. Dubroy sends it down the ice. Cowell with the puck walking in. Cowell back for Misa for Cowell. What a save! Oh my goodness! Got the pad out and everything. That was Boivin with a miraculous save for Hearst to keep them down 1-0.
And that was a great passing play as well when you look at it between Cowell and Misa. And unfortunately, I think Cowell wants that back. All he needed to do was lift it up in the air.
Puck in through the neutral zone, sent down. Now Russo walks in. Russo with the shot. He scores! Justin Russo! It's 2-0. And then after Caleb Dawson got mixed up a little bit with the goaltender Boivin, who now breaks Dawson's stick that was left in the blue paint. And it was knocked out of the hand by a Hearst player. And I think Dawson's getting a penalty here.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the call. Probably a roughing call there. But going back to that goal, though, Dawson makes a really nice play to get that puck over to Russo. Russo with a great shot, not over the blocker of Boivin. And at the end of the day, Russo, I don't know if you had this on your bingo card with Powassan being up 2-0 here when you saw the amount of firepower that Hearst has brought in, but that's a big one for Russo. That's his 7th of the season and another 21st point as well. So the guys who have been putting up the points so far have been answering the bell for the Voodoos.
Justin Russo's 7th of the season, kicked on net. Seibel with a save, another chance, blocked in front by the Voodoos, and now it's sent in and scored by Hearst. As the one too many chances there for the Lumberjacks as they make it a 2-1 game. As Ouellette gets it with his 9th of the season.
Well, we talked about playing with fire, and you could definitely feel that goal coming, especially at that point. Seibel is on his rear end there after making one save. It was a great block in front of the net on the penalty kill by Dubois, and then, of course, finally getting a puck through. And just like that, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be very quick. We almost saw that earlier on when it was 1-0, and now the Voodoos have to be careful because the Lumberjacks are smelling blood.
Now Caden Cowell, who's been dangerous all game, walks in. Leaves the puck back to the point. Shot on net, stopped by Boivin. And we'll get a stoppage here as another little skirmish behind the net.
And Cowell feels like he has a bit of a pep in his step a little bit, you could say, especially after scoring that goal. His last 2 shifts, you can really see the speed coming in. It really feels like he's trying to go the extra mile a little bit. Of course, he's been an integral part of, well, he scored the first goal, almost scored another one, and he's really been an integral part of this offense so far. Again, 2-1, you would expect Hearst getting a lot of goals with the way they've been going, but I think you have to be really happy if you're the Voodoos and finding 2 in the back of the net so far.
Now coming the other way is Callan. Callan takes a shot, stopped by Seibel. Now behind the net again is Hearst. Sent back in. But the Voodoos do get the puck out. Both goals for the Voodoos coming from outside the face-off dots.
So goaltender interference was the call that Dawson got, by the way, that led to that goal.
Now in tight for Hearst. Another chance. Coleman does get it away. Now it's sent back by Taylor. Tried to tip it towards the net was McKay. But it's sent right back to the point for Hearst. Another chance. And it missed the net entirely. I understand where the goaltender interference part comes from that. Obviously, it didn't lead to the goal because the puck was already in the net. Because if it was, that would be called back, right? Like,
yeah.
Dawson did definitely barrel through the crease on that, but it was the play afterwards where they knocked the stick out of his hand, and then Boivin got up and broke it. And it's kind of like, there's a bit of a retaliation there on that one. I've seen stranger things happen, and by no way am I excusing Caleb Dawson's play on that.
They're going to make a Netflix joke.
Master of Puppets pulling my string. Great Stranger Things. I'm hip. I'm cool.
Oh, man.
I've actually never watched Stranger Things.
You've never seen Stranger Things?
Never watched Stranger Things. I don't have Netflix.
Oh, well. Arr.
Oh, God. That's true, I guess. Puck to the blue line. And now a good chance here for Powassan. Another 2-on-1. Walking in, takes the shot. And they missed the net. That was Owen Call, I believe, with the chance there. As now he chases back after it. Boivin out to play it. Leaves it for Call. Call's shot. Kicked into the corner. Now playing on the near side. In the corner. Puck does come out. Dubois can't keep the line though, but he does get the puck over to Nolan. Now Call with it. Gets it to Dubois. Dubois backhanded chance. Misses the far side. Or the near side, I should say. Now another chance from McKillop. And I don't think Boivin saw that till the last minute, but it went wide of the net. Now another chance for Hearst. Sharp angle chance, looking for a bank in. Couldn't find his man, though, as the puck sailed through the middle of the ice. Now back to Audris. Audris throws that one, banks it off the end boards. And Hearst still with possession, but the puck does come out and sent down the ice by the Voodoos. Ellard in a foot race, and they're going to call that one icing, as with just a step ahead of Caleb Ellard was Jean-Pierre Audris, and what a foot race there to try and beat out the icing.
Yeah, a little surprised that ended up not getting waved off because there was a very similar one that Cowell beat out just a couple of minutes earlier. But again, we're seeing dangerous parts from both sides. It does seem like the Voodoos are trying to just put pucks on net right now on Boivin, and we've seen a couple of shots that are coming out from the side because so far it's worked. But I think the Voodoos have to try to get the puck in a little bit of better positions to take shots.
Miller's shot. Turned aside by Seibel. Now it's sent down the ice again by Powassan. No icing as it's waved off, so Boivin plays it. Voodoos get a nudge, needed line change in. Now just behind his net, Audris with it. Sent to the near side. Babiak tried to get at it, but now Cowell sends it right back in. Boivin out to play it behind his net. Sends it on the backhand. Up for Babiak through the neutral zone. And Hearst regains the zone. Ouellette, far side. Battling for possession. Now it's sent in, left in the slot though. Another chance off the skate of Jackson Smith and into the corner. And Powassan sends it right down into the neutral zone again. Back in Schillinglaw. Takes a shot. Seibel with another save there. And now Jackson Smith, the captain of the Voodoos, with the puck. Up for Cowell. Cowell for Misa. Misa walks in. Sharp angle. Punched aside by Boivin. And now battling on the near side wall, and looks like we're going to get a penalty, I believe, for too many men.
Well, I don't think the Hearst bench was very happy about that. There was some colorful language coming from somewhere.
Well, there are some Hearst fans in attendance. Hearst fans travel really well.
Which is surprising because of how
it's so far away.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you understand the Sudbury, you understand some of the places close by, but got to give a lot of credit to them. They really like their hockey. That and Timmins are the two places where
they love their hockey in this league for sure.
Absolutely.
Russo. I mean, there's no OHL there, right? Whereas Powassan has North Bay.
And even then,
Sudbury has the Wolves.
And even then, very good crowds all the time here.
Yeah. The Sioux has the Greyhounds, but to them up in Hearst and Timmins, that's the team. Pelche on the near side. Sharp angle chance. Turned aside by Boivin, and now the puck sent down the ice. Cowell, maybe a little too lackadaisy there. I don't think he realized that there was a Hearst player right on him. Now Kratz with some speed. Kratz gains the zone, loses the handle of it though, but goes after it in the corner. Back to the point, to Kratz. Kratz tried to get it over to Misa, and that puck didn't quite make it to him, so now Seibel out to play the puck in his own zone. Seibel leaves it behind his net for Kratz. Kratz has scored a couple of goals this year where he made something out of nothing, it looked like, on the play. Now Kratz still with the puck somehow, got it over to Cowell.
He just said that, and Kratz immediately went through 3 different players.
Yeah. Caden Cowell walks the line, stops up, leaves it. Now it's back for Kratz, back to Cowell. Cowell, back to Kratz. Sends it over near side. Call with it, back to Kratz. Kratz with some space. Near side, over to Cowell, and the puck is under Boivin as he got a piece of it there. As the Voodoos looking dangerous the last few seconds of that power play there. And they just have under a minute now left on said power play.
Yeah, and at the beginning of this power play, they didn't really get anything going for the first half of it. It was good clearances from Hearst, and finally they're able to set something up, and a good opportunity early on in that power play. I'd like to see them maybe move the puck a little bit more and get a really good opportunity before this one expires. Only 3:53 left in the period.
Puck flipped around now by the Lumberjacks, sent down the ice to kill some time. And now Seibel plays the puck behind his net to Smith. Smith leaves it for Nolan. Nolan has some room to maneuver here as he walks in. Jack Nolan, sharp angle chance, blocked by the Lumberjacks and flipped down the ice by Hearst. Seibel out to play the puck. Leaves it behind his net for Smith.
Owen Call did a really good job of staying on side in that last opportunity as well.
Dubroy trying to find Call. And now Call does get the puck in. It's 3-on-1 here for Powassan. Near side! And that Dawson went sliding into the net. And it knocks it off its moorings. A good chance there as they would have had a wide open net.
Yeah, and I feel like that almost seems like how his season has gone so far. That one looked like it was right on his stick, wide open cage, and yet the puck still ends up going wide. And sometimes you just have these stretches where nothing seems to be going your way, and that's kind of how it feels right now for Caleb Dawson, who again has scored many goals in this league before, but has only found the back of the net twice so far in almost 20 games.
Voodoos get the puck in deep to Hearst. And now we're back to 5-on-5 with 3 minutes left on the clock here in this opening frame. 2-1 Powassan leads over Hearst. Veyu Sends the puck in for Rotundo. Rotundo had it hop off the Zamboni door. And now it's left for Denchuk. Denchuk stopping up. And the puck comes back for Hearst, who now have possession again. Hearst all over the Voodoos again in Powassan territory. Near side to Taylor. Taylor takes a shot off Seibel and big rebound there. As it's now sent back around behind the net, as there's a delayed penalty coming up for Hearst, as now the puck down for Schunborn. Schunborn sends it towards the net, and that was stopped. That was a shot I don't think was intended, but it's still stopped by Boivin nonetheless.
There's also a pretty quick whistle from the ref there, as it didn't seem like it really was possession from Hearst. But either way, the Voodoos back to the power play, which they will either finish the period with 16 seconds on the clock or less, depending if they can find the way. And one of the things that Hearst just did in that last opportunity was they were pressing with 3 men. There was basically 3-on-1 in the defensive zone. So basically what happens there is if the Voodoos, if you can't get the puck away from those 3, that kind of 3-man trap, you're going to end up giving away the puck in a really good place. So it'll be interesting to see if Hearst continues that in the offense, in the Voodoos defensive zone, and if Peter Goulet is going to try to maybe counter that with adding some help.
Smith with a shot from the point, turned aside by Boivin, and it's back to the point, but kept in by Call. Call into the slot, now it's back to the point and set on net by Nolan, and that one just went wide. Call on the near side to Smith. Smith, far side for Nolan. Nolan with a chance is kicked aside by Boivin. Now it's back to Smith at the point. Lots of pressure there, so he gets the puck quickly over to Nolan. Back for Nolan. His slew footing. So it's a form double minor, so the Voodoos might finish this period on the power play. You got to make hay while the sun's up, though.
Yeah, had a couple of good opportunities in their first power play. I'm sure when Hearst goes to the locker room, one of those things is going to be discipline. Those are both penalties were kind of bad penalties to take, and
I would say all 3 penalties in this game so far have been bad penalties to take.
Absolutely, yeah.
Cowell sends the puck. He hits a body at the Lumberjacks bench as well. Sends his man flying. Now Cowell keeps the puck in. And that's going to go for a hand pass. So the puck will go right back out of the Hearst zone with 1:12 left on the clock in this period.
Yeah, whenever you look at undisciplined penalties or just penalties you don't need to take, when you're leading the game, it's not the end of the world. But when you're in a Hearst situation now, there's a lot of time to go, and they are playing really well. But you've also, if you think about the total amount of time, you just spent 6 minutes with a man down. That 6 minutes can really add up by the time you get to the end of the game, especially when you're down a goal.
One thing, as Hay gets the puck down the ice, one thing that head coach of the battalion, Ryan Houlihan, said a lot last year as they were a little undisciplined was, the longer you spend in the penalty box, the less time you have to play your game and get into a rhythm, because you're always playing a certain amount of players, so it's taxing on those types of players if you keep getting into special team moments.
Yeah, or you have to play players you don't want on your special teams, and that causes mismatches that you don't want.
Now Hearst with some speed out of their zone. It's Hay. Had the puck knocked away from him by Kratz. 30 seconds left on the clock here. Battling in the near side of the Voodoos zone. Cowell comes away with it, though. Perhaps one last rush here for Powassan. Cowell offside. So we'll get another face-off here with 19.6 seconds on the clock.
That's tough. Jack Nolan just going a step ahead. That kind of stopped a pretty promising rush there. Probably killed all the momentum that the Voodoos are going to have into the end of this period, too, as with 20 seconds left, it's going to be hard for them to get back into that rhythm. But either way, I think the Voodoos have to be relatively happy with how this period's gone, especially in the last 5 minutes or so, 5-6 minutes of this period, where they've had a lot of the power play time.
Now it's picked off by Hearst off the draw, and Hearst with one last rush here as Patterson gets in, takes a shot. Good save there by Seibel. And the puck out of play as Austin Seibel. What a save, as he's made a couple here. We've seen 3 or 4 great saves by both goaltenders in this opening frame.
Absolutely, and I just said that they're going to be happy with how this played out, and that almost turned out to not be the case. And again, what we've seen is that the Hearst constantly in the defensive zone forces you to be careful with the puck, as they're always right on you immediately. It's something that the Voodoos have not done, they've struggled with here in this first period.
Well, that'll do it for this first period here. So the Voodoos end the opening 20 up 2-1. They'll come back with the power play to start the second period, as goals coming from Cowell and Russo for Powassan. And what an opening frame in the books here from the Sportsplex. Ben, before we go, your final thoughts.
Yeah, there's good and bad on both sides. I think if you're the Voodoos, you're happy with getting 2 goals. Goal scoring has been a premium for them this season, and coming against a team that has scored 90 goals in 19 games, the fact that they're up 2-1 is a big win. However, they've found themselves being pinned down in their own zone and having some struggles. If you're Hearst, you want to continue to play the game that you're playing. You'll eventually end up tying this game and probably taking the lead if the Voodoos can't make any sort of adjustments strategically on their end. But they have to stay out of the penalty box. They can't continue to take these penalties. 6 minutes so far of game time has been taken up of them being in the penalty box and down a man.
Well, we'll have to see if they're able to make some adjustments as the two teams retreat to their dressing rooms for 15 minutes here. And we'll be back with more Voodoos hockey on the other side of this intermission.
Why is Northern Honda servicing more cars of all makes and models? Let's count the ways. 1. Our state-of-the-art facility has award-winning technicians. 2. Northern Honda has the lowest tire price guarantee, no matter what you drive. 3. The lowest synthetic oil change guarantee, and every 5th oil change is free for all makes and models. Plus, new Honda buyers get brake pads for life. See the service difference at Northern Honda, 1250 Seymour beside Home Depot.
The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalieresiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency. Welcome to the Clubhouse by Gateway Golf. Located on Oak Street East in North Bay, with over 200 plus real-time courses, simulator arcade games, and delicious eats, the Clubhouse is North Bay's newest social hangout. You can book times now at gatewaygolf.ca or come visit at 245 Oak Street East in North Bay, Ontario. The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalieresiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency.
Anyway, so I can't hear myself, so that's great. So the Voodoos are up 2-1 as this has just become a nightmare of a broadcast. 2-1 after the first period of play between the Voodoos and the Hearst Lumberjacks. As both teams are back out on the ice, the Voodoos in their road or home greens are going left to right to start this frame, and the Lumberjacks in their road whites are going right to left for the second period. 2-1, 2 goals by the Voodoos from Caden Cowell and Justin Russo in quick succession. As we're still ready to go.
Yeah, so as we come into this into the second frame, it's as we said, 2-1 going into the second period. We still have a penalty with the slew foot. It's going to be important to see if the Voodoos can start off on a good note.
As we get set for the opening draw now between the two teams. 2-1 again here between Powassan and Hearst as we're underway quickly into Voodoos territory. And that's Kratz with the puck. Kratz down from his own zone as Voodoos still on a power play too. Babiak nearly got a chance shorthanded there, as now there's going to be a penalty against Powassan here. So that'll nullify what little power play time that they had left. I shouldn't say little, they did have over a minute. And now Hearst is going to a power play with Kratz going to the box. So that's not good news if you're a Voodoos fan.
Well, you talk about wasting an opportunity there. You had a power play to start this period, and the next thing you know is now it's back to 4-on-4. And going into that intermission, one of those things for Hearst was all about not giving up penalties.
Puck came to the slot, but it's turned aside by the Lumberjacks. Now another chance back out front for Hearst. As Schillinglaw, the captain of the Lumberjacks, has the puck on the far side. Rotundo gets to it, and now his stick is thrown out of his hands. And Paquette has it back at the blue line. Paquette, Dipsy doodles to the middle. Now on the far side, Hearst still with possession. And it's left out front, but Dubroy gets to it, tries to dump it down the ice, but is kept in by Paquette. Now near side, out to the slot, they score! Paquette gets the goal and ties it at 2. As William Paquette gets his 4th of the season.
Well, what a great shot. It just goes over the glove of the Cybele, and that's, of course, a even strength goal as they're both 4-on-4. And we talk again, the Voodoos come into this period with a man advantage. You think that they're going to come out firing. The next thing you know, they give away a penalty. You go back to 4-on-4, and now a minute in, we're tied. And not the start that Peter Goulet wanted for his team.
The box, he's in, gets the puck out front. Smith with a shot, and that one's off the end wall and bounces back to the box. Less than a minute left on this 4-on-4. As the puck comes back out for Hearst, quickly down the ice is Patterson. Patterson into Voodoos territory, stops up, turns around, gets it back to the point. Now another chance thrown cross ice. Cowell gets to it though off the rebound. Now Cowell through the neutral zone. Got it out front. Smith hits his man. And Smith has the puck on the near side. Hearst picks it back up, though. And Russo tried to keep it in, as now Hearst has a little bit of a 2-on-1, but a good play by Coleman knocks the puck away. Now Audris back down the ice, as it's a 20-second power play here for the Lumberjacks. They're 1-for-1 on the man advantage. Going for his skate is Vayu. Now Schillinglaw takes a shot, and that's a big save by Seibel's blocker. Back out front, good one-timed attempt there, but it's a broken stick, and the puck sent down the ice, and that'll do it here for the man advantage for Hearst, as it's back to 5-on-5. Vayu walks in, takes a shot. Seibel with the save, second chance, and they score here as the puck went around Seibel off the rebound as it came back to Vayu, and Seibel was a sitting duck on that one.
Well, the Voodoos, the victim of where the benches are located after in the second period, is they were caught in a change. There was a 3-on-1 there for the Lumberjacks, and as you said, Vayu able to put one by his 11th of the season as on a second chance opportunity. And now all of a sudden, we talked about Hearst coming out. If they continue to play the way that they're going to play, and they quickly, this is a team who scored over 90 goals so far this season.
Paquette, who scored the tying goal earlier this period, as we're not even a full 3 minutes in, gets the puck into his own zone, and now it's in the corner. Rotundo comes away with the puck. No, he is still left there as Misa still battles for it. Rotundo throws it cross ice. No one was there. Puck coming back to McKillop. It's out, though, as Dubroy sends it right back in, but it's a late offside. Boivin plays the puck, leaves it for Paquette. Now Paquette from his own zone. Down the ice. Paquette walks in, takes a shot. Seibel makes a save. The shots are now 24-13 in favor of the Lumberjacks through the first 3 minutes and change in this second period.
And both goals coming on the glove side of Austin Seibel. So you can kind of feel like the Lumberjacks are now trying to focus on that side of him a little bit. Again, you can't really fault him for either of those goals. Both really good shots, but you can just kind of see it's tilted a little bit more towards trying to get it in on the left-hand side and go across the body.
Well, the Voodoos have allowed 2 quick ones here in this period when they started this frame with the man advantage. And then they took a penalty, and you talked in the first frame about not taking penalties and how that's going to be a big one here. Now Ouellette walks in, throws the puck to the middle of the ice. No one was there. Boswell on the far side. Sends it in deep. Now it's behind the net. Hearst with possession. Walking around. Ouellette got it in for Blyer. Now it's cross ice. Boys picks it up. Boys flips it down the ice. And Hearst can't play it. It's a high stick, but they do as Blyer plays it. So we'll get a face-off draw in Hearst territory.
Well, it's a little bit of a butterfly effect when we go back to that early period penalty, as you know, they come in, they've got about 2 minutes on the man advantage to start this period off on a strong foot, immediately find themselves in trouble, and the next thing you know is that second goal that Hearst scored in this period is a direct influence from that first goal, and just how they've been able to get the Voodoos off their game, and not even 3 minutes into the period, now all of a sudden it's a completely different game. And that's scary for the Voodoos.
The box had the puck. I thought he kept it onside, but they said no. So delayed offside leads to another chance here. And a sharp angle chance for Hearst. And just a heads up as well, talking to General Manager Chris Dawson during the intermission, Nathan Pelche is out of this game with an upper body injury as well.
Yeah, and it kind of goes from bad to worse. Pelche comes into this game the third highest point getter with 18 points.
He got an assist earlier this game too.
Yep, and that's a huge loss. When you look at both goal scorers for the Voodoos being their 2 heavyweights so far in Cowell and Russo.
Puck quickly down the ice. That's going to go for icing against Powassan, though, as this period has been a lot of not what Powassan would have wanted.
Well, I always like
so far.
I always like talking about the second period as being this probably the most important period that you're going to play, because it's this middle ground of usually it takes a little bit for the game to get going, and then by the time you get to the third period, either the game can really run away from you or it can be really tight, and it sets up what the last 20 is going to look like. And so far, with still 15 minutes to go, if the Voodoos, it might get out of hand quickly depending on how things shape up.
Dubroy could have had a break there, but Puck knocked away from him. And now Misa sends his guy to the ice. And the puck sent in on Boivin, but he's just going to cover it up. There's a little bit of friendly fire there.
And I think Misa might have gotten away with a little bit of a hook there, too, as he looked over to the ref right after the Hearst player went down.
See, if you think you're going to be guilty, don't make yourself look guilty by looking at the ref.
Yeah, and he definitely, and to be fair, he did get his stick in. Maybe it was a little bit of an easy way of, a little easy going down, but either way, I think the Voodoos got away with one, because when we talk about from going bad to worse, the last thing they need right now is to go back on the penalty kill.
Rotundo, high shot, goes wide. And now Hearst with a chance. They did have a man sneaking behind the D, but it's just sent in as Denchuk takes a spill. And the Hearst bench loves that. Now puck out front. Hearst couldn't quite bury it as they stick handled themselves into submission. They were right in front of Seibel in the blue paint. Lumberjacks now with a pass. It goes out of the zone as it hit a body. Paquette with the puck. Flips it down the ice for Kalen. Kalen walking in. Goes around behind the net. Tried to send it out front. No one was there. And Powassan did pick it up momentarily. But Hearst has it again. Out to the slot. No one's there for Hearst as the pass couldn't quite connect. Now Paquette with it. Paquette going for a chase. Sends it around behind the end wall. Rotundo plays the body, not the puck. And the puck's still left in the corner. Now pile up on the far side. 14 minutes left in the second period. 3-2 Hearst leads. Powassan had 2 straight. It's been 3 straight now for Hearst ever since. And now we're going to get some whacking here as Denchuk sent his man down to the ice. And then a retaliatory whack from Hearst. Although it doesn't look like any penalties are coming.
Well, at the end of the first period, I mentioned about how each team's going to approach things strategically after that first period, and Hearst really hasn't changed anything. The biggest difference right now is that they're taking advantage of some of the ice and space that the Voodoos have allowed them to have in the offensive zone. We've seen where both of those shots have come from. Those were spaces in that first period that the Voodoos were able to close down and not get good looks at. And right now, Hearst is taking advantage of a couple of small gaps in the Voodoos' defense.
Hearst still with possession. They've certainly owned the possession game so far. As Dubroy gets it back for Schillinglaw. Schillinglaw sends it in deep. Kratz with the puck. Lost it, though, as now Hay has it. Hay taking off the puck, but the puck just left there for the Lumberjacks. And now Smith chasing after it, but Hearst, first man on it again. Still battling for it. Blyer comes away with it. No, Blyer still has it up against the wall. Shots on goal this period, 25-13 in the game, I should say. And now Powassan can only just send it down the ice. Back into Voodoos territory. Smith chasing after it. Near side for Kratz. Kratz to Call. Call on the near side wall. Couldn't quite get it out of his zone, and now it does come out, but Schillinglaw picks it up. Schillinglaw battles for it, goes around behind his net. Chases after it. Still has it in his own zone. Nolan was on him. Now another chance as a puck or as a stick comes flying out of Kyle's hands, and then Hay just skates away with it there in his legs. One of those, I'm just trying to skate, but still I'm going to kind of kick it away kind of thing. Kratz got it to Cal, and now Nolan gets to it. Nolan, sharp angle, takes a shot, rebound, and it's over the net. Voodoos with a little life here now, and now we'll get a penalty, I believe, against Powassan for hooking.
Well, more penalty troubles here in the second period, and that's kind of one of those needless penalties to take if that is against, well, for either team, but as you said, it looks like it's going to be going off to the bench of Jack Nolan, who had a great opportunity earlier on. Maybe I think maybe the pass would have been a better choice than trying to go for a short angle shot, maybe trying to get a rebound there for the man in front, but Nolan taking kind of a needless penalty there behind the net, the offensive net. And again, when you talk about from bad to worse for the Voodoos, they've now committed 2 penalties, and they're really just allowing Hearst to get all the momentum right now. And Hearst is pinning them in, is really doing a good job of pinning the Voodoos in their own zone, and they're not able to get that same kind of transition that they were able to do in the first period.
Hearst to Schillinglaw at the point. Still playing pitch and catch near side to Boswell. He couldn't handle the pass, though. As now Boswell and Schillinglaw change angles. Another chance on the one-time effort. And hits the end boards and goes down through the neutral zone. Schillinglaw's going to have to chase after it. 30 seconds almost shaved off this man advantage. And now Ouellette with the puck. Ouellette with some speed gains the zone, goes cross ice. Another chance for Schillinglaw. And Seibel makes the save. His 26th shot already. He's seeing more rubber than the Trans-Canada Highway.
Yeah, he's had a good game so far. Again, a couple of goals. You can't really fault him on any of the goals that he's put in. They've been great shots. Just both of these on the glove side in kind of that upper corner area, but the Voodoos have really leaned on him in this game. As you said, already 26 shots in about 30 minutes of game time.
Far side, Powassan picks off the pass, sends it down the ice, and it bounces off the end boards, and Boisvin plays it behind his net to Paquette. 1:05 left on the man advantage. 11:25 left on the game clock, and the puck hits a stick and goes out of play at the Hearst bench. So we'll get a stoppage here with 1 minute and 2 seconds left on the power play.
And you can really see why Hearst, obviously, as we said, these two teams haven't played each other yet this season, but we're seeing why Hearst is right now second in the league, why they've scored so many goals, how dangerous they can be. Right now, obviously, it's been a little bit different with how they've amalgamated both divisions and conferences this year. It's going to be very interesting as that one goes out of play for a whistle outside the zone. It's going to be very... right now, the way that they're playing, I think Hearst right now, outside of the Cubs, who've had a lot of help from a lot of players coming in from the OHL, they look like the scariest team right now, I think, in this league.
I would have to agree with that statement. Boswell for the draw against Russo. Russo kicks it back to Coleman. It's out of his reach, so Coleman just sends it around and out of his zone with some help there by Cowell. 40 seconds left on the man advantage. Schillinglaw gets it down the ice. Hearst right back into Voodoos territory. Smith battling for it with his man for the puck. Now the puck up against the boards with Coleman there. Cowell gets to it, sends it to the blue line, but not out as Schillinglaw picks it up. Schillinglaw at the blue line. Back to Schillinglaw, takes the shot. Seibel with the kick save. As that's 27 shots for the goaltender. Another chance out front. Push put over the top of the net though. As now Hearst once again, first one on the puck. 5 seconds left on the man advantage. Another stick goes flying. And now the puck just to the blue line and finally out. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey as Nolan has a break. Jack Nolan walking in. Jack Nolan takes a shot. He scores! Jack Nolan with his 6th of the season. Ties the game at 3 against the Lumberjacks, his former team.
Well, and that's how you buy back some points from your coach there after taking a penalty behind the net that obviously leads to 2 minutes of being on the penalty kill. A bad pass from Hearst coming off of that. I believe that was Boswell's stick, I believe, who was the one who made that pass. Right to Jack Nolan, who's straight out of the penalty box. And what a great finish there from Jack Nolan. That's exactly what you want to see. It's a beautiful shot over the glove side. And all of a sudden, we're tied back up at 3.
Well, we've been saying it for a little while now. Jack Nolan has 5 goals on the season, and all 5 of his goals came in one game. Well, now we can't say all of his goals have come in one game, as he's got a 6th one here, and it comes in a different game than those other 5, which that itself is just a wild stat that you score 5 goals in one game.
Yeah, we were actually talking to his dad in between periods. He came up to have a chat with us all the way from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the Voodoos love those Pittsburgh guys. Dylan McElhaney and Ryan Patrick last year.
Just don't show them bagged milk. They might get confused.
Is it a dock or a harbor?
Harbor. It's definitely a dock.
Yeah.
A pier.
A pier.
Was it a pier? Yeah.
No, I can't remember. I got to
know.
go back and listen to that episode now.
Check out that episode on the Frontline YouTube channel.
Yeah, Ryan Patrick, a couple of times on the podcast. Dylan McElhaney a couple of times. As now it's a 2-on-1 with Dubroy. Dubroy takes the shot, stopped by Boivin. As there's a couple of whacks afterwards as call came in and snowed the goalie a little bit. And the Lumberjacks took, well, not too kindly to that.
And this is the time where you want to be careful. You don't want to find yourself, you are amped up, a big goal, ties things up, but you don't want to get yourself into a situation where you're going back into the penalty box. And this goes for either team. you want to make sure that you toe that line of you want to have that energy, you want to have that fire, but you don't want to get into penalty trouble. And as I say that, Owen Call going off for probably what will be, as he did not heed my advice that I just said, he'll be going off for 2 minutes. I'm assuming that'll be a roughing call. We'll wait for the official.
It's that or unsportsmanlike for snowing the goalie.
Either way, that's a bad penalty to take. Again, we've seen it from the Hearst Lumberjacks in the first period, but this second period has really not been good for discipline for the Voodoos.
Paquette at the point takes a shot, and that one missed his man. Now Paquette picks it back up. Over to Veilleux. Veilleux into the slot with his man, and that one's just put wide of the net by Hearst. On the far side, Hearst with possession. Back to Paquette. Another chance. Saved by Seibel. A minute 30 left on the man advantage. Well, on the bright side, if you're Powassan, the last power play you killed off, and then it led to a goal right after.
Yeah, and which is kind of a good thing. But you can't always bank on that to happen. To be fair, as good as that goal was from Nolan, he got lucky by a bad giveaway from the Lumberjacks. They were not expecting, that's just not keeping your head up, not looking where the puck is going, assuming that's going to be free. But either way,
you got to be good to be lucky and lucky to be good, as they say. Another chance thrown wide of the net by Hearst. Veilleux with the puck at the blue line. Veilleux walking the line, takes a shot. I don't think Seibel saw that. I don't think it got to him either. As now the puck comes to the blue line, but not out by Hearst. This has been an issue Powassan has had all game long, is getting it out of their own zone. Minute left on the man advantage. Good sticks there by Powassan, disrupt that play. And now Hearst nearly put it out of their own zone, but Paquette picks it up on a good reach. Hearst still with possession to the middle of the ice, and is flipped out by Powassan, but they won't get a chance to change as the puck didn't go all the way down the ice. Dawson, the attacker, going after Paquette. Now he goes for a quick change, as now DeBroy tried to line his man up. Now Hearst going back the other way. Ouellette walks the line, far side to Schillinglaw. Nice little one-touch pass. Another shot sent in on Seibel, and the goaltender with a big save there as he was right on the line.
Well, DeBroy tries to go for the big highlight reel hit and almost ends up going against him, as it's now a 4-on-2 the other way. And either way, we've seen Ouellette be part of it. He already has a goal on the game, and he's been a part of a couple of opportunities here. And again, the passing from Hearst has been very, very good. And they've had a couple of opportunities where they've found space in this defensive zone in the second period, which has really caused issues.
Schillinglaw with a shot. That one's over the net and off the glass behind the net. Boswell with the puck. Now sharp angle chance there by Hearst. That's the 30th shot on goal now. And Seibel turned that one away. 9 seconds left on the man advantage. Another chance kicked aside. And now back out to the middle of the ice is Smith. Smith carrying the puck down the ice. There won't be any outlet pass there as the puck goes round the end wall. Russo with the puck takes a hard hit into the corner. Now Russo comes away with this, sends across ice. Nome was there as Smith had to go back through the neutral zone to collect it. Now back in. 7 minutes left on the game clock in the second period. It's a 3-3 game. Battle for possession. Russo knocked down as Ouellette has the puck. Now Hearst going the other way. Up the ice quickly. Boswell had it off his stick quickly though as Kratz sends the puck right back down the ice for Russo. Russo on the near side into the corner. Russo battles for possession. Gets it out front. Back to the point. Coleman winds up and takes the shot. And that one goes wide. Now Kratz couldn't quite keep the line as he pinched. But Russo sends it right back in, and he's going to go off for a change. 6:20 left in this second period. Shots on goal 30-16 in favor of the Lumberjacks. Now Hearst down the ice. McKay with the puck. Got it to Allard. Allard out to the middle of the ice. McKay couldn't quite get the puck on net. Now another chance turned aside by Seibel as the goaltender so far in this one has done more than his fair share in this game, but that'll bring us to our mid-period break, so we'll be back with more on the other side of this.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And we welcome you back inside the Powassan Sportsplex as we get ready for another game, or the second half of the second period. It's 3-3 between the Powassan Voodoos and the Hearst Lumberjacks. And, of course, a big hello to Jim Bruce down enjoying the sunny south right now in Florida. He's far away from here.
We're enjoying the coldy cold down here in Powassan. We need to petition for heaters right in front of us.
Yeah, this is like the only part on this side that doesn't have heaters.
Yeah, they put us right in between where it is, but I digress. It's fine. Either way, though, when you look at this game so far, 3-3, and it's really been mostly Hearst in this second period. They've really found they found 2 goals early on in this period, and they really, overall, just the play has been dominated by Hearst. However, the Voodoos get away with a big break after Jack Nolan goes to the penalty box. He comes out, a bad giveaway from the Lumberjacks leads to a beautiful breakaway, a beautiful shot, and a big tie. So despite Hearst playing this so well, at the end of the day, we're still sitting here 3-3. And here's an opportunity.
That one just went wide of the net.
That was Dubroy.
And now Cowell with the puck. It's a good thing that you also do play-by-play, too, because you can fill in when needed.
That's what I do.
Jack of all trades, Ben Sargent.
Master of none.
Well, I wasn't going to go that far, but you said it. Dubroy, far side now to Cowell. Walks back in. Another shot turned aside by Boivin, who just covers it up. 5:27 left on the clock here. 3-3 game.
I'm also a master of geography.
Are you now?
No.
The Coldy Cold?
Yeah, the Coldy Cold. People keep telling me it's Chile, and I keep telling them, no, this is Canada.
Yeah, Chile's in South America.
Yeah, that's how it works. See, I told you.
That's a little bit further south than where Jim is right now.
I'm pretty sure it's actually pretty cold there most of the time, too.
Oh, my goodness. Another chance turned aside again by the goaltender, Boivin, as that was Denchuk looking for his first.
Yeah, I just completely derailed all my thoughts.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I don't even have a color analyst anymore. I just have a geography major next to me.
Yeah, take me to the airport. You'll never get home if you're Chilean.
I know. The one time we were walking down Toronto, you kept telling me to go a certain way, and I was like, if we walk that way, we're going to walk into Lake Ontario.
That's fine. I want to go for a swim.
Apparently. I wouldn't. It was early April. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near Toronto right now with what's going on down there with Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah, the Eras tour.
Yeah. Yeah, because the NFL schedule makers made the Chiefs go to Buffalo while she's there.
I wonder if that was intentional.
100% it was. As another shot from the point turned aside. Now to box at the point. Couldn't hold the line, though. Coleman comes to the near side, gets it right back down. And now Ellard with some burst of speed. Ellard walks in, takes the shot, stopped by Boivin. And the rebound just sat there, but now Hearst got it out of the danger zone. Hearst with some speed. Patterson down the ice. Good takeaway by Cowell as he turns back on. The Jets going the other way, and then he gives the puck away, trying to get too cute getting around his man.
And we're starting to see the game open up a little bit more here, and we haven't seen too much of Caden Cowell in this period, and we're seeing more of a burst of energy here from the Voodoos that we haven't seen in the second period. It's been very reserved for them ever since that early penalty.
Well, Cowell's usual running mate currently sitting here in the stands in a suit now. That's Nathan Pelche. I got a bit of a funny story about Pelche after after the next whistle here.
Does it involve geography?
It does.
Oh.
Sorry, Ben. You've been dethroned. As the puck comes back to Hearst in the Voodoos zone, but Nolan with a takeaway there. Gets it back. And is sent down the ice by Powassan. Looking for a quick change, but Hearst decides to get the puck right back down the ice. Boswell to Ouellette. Ouellette. Sharp angle, kicked aside by Seibel. As the puck now into the corner. Russo comes away with it. Gets it over for Nolan. Nolan gains the red line, dumps it in. Russo and Call chasing after it. Puck comes loose to Hearst, though. 3 minutes left in the frame. Nolan got the puck back to Kratz. Kratz, far side to Russo. Russo for Boys. Boys back to the point for Smith. Smith throws it towards the net. It hits a body and goes wide. And Boswell sends the puck right down the ice, cross ice. That looked like a high stick, but no call coming. And also Powassan was the first team to play it, so wouldn't have mattered anyways. Audris Back in for his man. That's Miller. Miller just content to hold it in the slot in his own zone, but now he gives it away to Dawson. Dawson, nice pass to Dubroy. Dubroy walks in, takes a shot. Stopped there by Boivin, and a good chance there by Caleb Dawson and Dubroy. Now a rebound chance, didn't quite get to the net. Dubroy with another chance. Couldn't quite find the lane, though, as it hit a body. Now Boy's battling for it. Lost it, though, and Hearst going the other way. Back down the ice. Smith stops his man up, and the puck sent back down the ice. Miller will chase after it. Miller into Hearst territory. Leaves it for Paquette. Now left for his man. Down the ice, going Hearst. Misa tried to get the puck out quickly. Another chance. Good chance there on the falling effort by Hearst, and a good save by Seibel to kick it away with his stick. The puck on the near side is Rotundo picking it up. Rotundo sends it down the ice. That would be another high stick attempt by the Lumberjacks, who play it. No call, though.
I think Cowell got the stick on it just before.
Yeah, that must have been what happened, because it was pretty bang. Rotundo with a shot, and that one's blocked up by Hearst. Now a 2-on-1 chance here. Veyu, cross ice. Patterson had it in his skates, so he couldn't quite get a shot away. Minute 25 left on the clock in the second period. We're still tied at 3. Nolan tried to get to the bouncing puck. Paquette picks it up, sends it right back in, bouncing off the ice. Rotundo picks it up behind his net. Now he's battling for it. Back to the blue line. Kept in by Hearst. Another chance, kicked into the corner. Paquette at the top of the zone again. Got it to Patterson. Patterson couldn't find it. Paquette flipped it up with his hand, and that'll be called for a hand pass as promised. So I've talked about it before. Nathan Pelche. I went to Renfrew and did a couple of things in Renfrew last year, and of course, who should sit behind me on the bus is Nathan Pelche. Yep. So he's talking to me about the NOJHL. He says, our longest bus trip in the CCHL is 2 hours to Hawkesbury from Renfrew. And I said, well, gee, the Voodoos got to play Hearst. That's about a 6-7 hour trip. His first trip to Hearst gets stuck on the bus for 12 hours.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. My favorite was when we talked to DeRoccolo last year, and he said when he starts, he doesn't do anything but look out the window.
Yeah, that's a long ride to Hearst.
That's a long ride.
That's the case.
That's a lot of imagination time.
Daniel DeRoccolo now tearing things up in the OJHL.
Yep.
He's a goaltender with the Junior Canadians. Now Patterson walks in, backhand chance. Good save there by Seibel. Now the Voodoos with one last chance perhaps as Dawson just dumps the puck in. It rolls in, and Boivin makes the stop as it bounced off the end board. But yeah, a little bit of a happenstance that I would just happen to sit right in front of Nathan Pelche. I went up with the team to Kirkland Lake a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
And we stopped at McDonald's after the game, and those poor employees at McDonald's in Kirkland Lake, they weren't expecting that on a Saturday night. A whole busload of Voodoos players to walk in, and oh my goodness, that was something else. But I'll finish that thought here at the end of the period. Back to Coleman, or Smith rather. Now it's Kratz in the neutral zone. Got it to Cowell, sent back in, and flipped out. Cowell flips it right back in. Audris with the puck, 10 seconds left in this period. And the puck hits the glass and down the ice. Boswell now gets to it. Dubroy just flips it down, and that'll kill off the final seconds here of this second period. It's a 3-3 hockey game. Hearst with 2 goals in that period. Powassan with 1, so a mirror image of that first period on the scoreboard. But anyways, Pelche, we're in McDonald's, and Pelche turns around and he says, yo, 2K, what do you got? And I said, well, I got 2 cheeseburgers in a pop. That's all I need.
Yeah.
He showed me his bag. He had like everything on the menu.
Good for him. He's a growing boy.
Well, he also just played a hockey game too, right? So, like, I get it. You're hungry.
Well, he needs something for the bus ride.
Yeah, exactly. But I was like, oh my goodness. Like, he was so proud of himself. And I was like, okay. But anyways, 3-3 game after 40 minutes of play. Ben, your final thoughts on that frame?
Yeah, that one was one that Hearst could have really ran away with it, and they didn't take that opportunity, which I think really kind of hurt them there. The Voodoos doing a really good opportunity, though, of coming back. A bad giveaway gives Jack Nolan a beautiful finish, and the next thing you know, it's 3-3. And so this is anyone's game, and it's going to be so important is how each team starts the next period. I think it's going to really define the rest of this game.
Shots on goal after 40 minutes of play, 34-21 in favor of the Lumberjacks. But again, where it matters most, the score is 3-3. We'll be back with more on the other side of this intermission.
Canadian Tire North Bay. Whether you're in need of a hockey gear upgrade or some cooking kitchenware to help get you fueled up for the big game. Maybe it's a set of new snow tires or a tune-up to help you get there safely. Stop by the newly renovated Canadian Tire North Bay. Open 7 days a week and located conveniently at 890 McEwen Avenue. They have everything you need for this season.
The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalie-resiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency.
Why is Northern Honda servicing more cars of all makes and models? Let's count the ways. 1. Our state-of-the-art facility has award-winning technicians. 2. Northern Honda has the lowest tire price guarantee, no matter what you drive. 3. The lowest synthetic oil change guarantee, and every 5th oil change is free for all makes and models. Plus, new Honda buyers get brake pads for life. See the service difference at Northern Honda, 1250 Seymour beside Home Depot.
The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalie-resiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency.
And we welcome you back inside the Powassan Sportsplex as we're ready for period number 3 between the Powassan Voodoos and the Hearst Lumberjacks. The game 3-3 between these two rivals. As the Lumberjacks scored 2 in that period, the Voodoos scored 1 to erase the 3-2 deficit on a great goal by Jack Nolan, who got his first in just over a month. As we're set to go momentarily, Courtney Kenny pleased to be joined by Ben Sargent, and of course cameraman Mike Brown is always celebrating his birthday here on the broadcast.
Happy birthday, Mike.
He also gets 2 birthdays tomorrow because he's going to Temiskaming to do the U18 Trappers game, and then later that tomorrow night we'll be back here again for a Powassan Voodoos game against the Sioux Eagles. Is he getting birthday cake? Don't know. Tune in to find out. Mike always deserves birthday cake. As we're underway here, Hearst in their white road jerseys are going left to right. Powassan in their home greens are going right to left. And it's into Voodoos territory and quickly out. Now the Voodoos on the attack. Dubroy with some speed takes the shot. Saved by Boivin, as that's a big effort there right off the hop for Powassan, with that being probably their best start already of the game in any of the 3 periods. Another chance from out far. Kicked aside by the goaltender. Puck loose for the Lumberjacks now as they go down the ice. Patterson tried to get the puck to the middle of the ice. Couldn't quite find his man. Now they do, as Patterson has it back. Flipped out by Kratz. And Como leaves it for his mate. That's Blyer.
Well, when the Voodoos are playing their best hockey, it's when they're allowing this transition play to happen, when the ice is being stretched out and you're not and you're really going back and forth. And it's been what's working for the Voodoos so far, but interested to see how disciplined both these teams are going to be after a pretty undisciplined second period.
Veilleux with the puck. Walks in. Stops up. Tried to pass it back to the blue line. It's kept in, though, to Schillinglaw. Schillinglaw with the shot. That one hits a body and goes wide of the net. Now Blyer gets it in, but Dawson picks it up where the referee is on the far side. Dawson still battling for it. Now a hit thrown on the far side by Rotundo. Puck comes loose. Hearst still has it. McKillop in there as the puck's still up against the boards. Hearst again with possession. Walks back to Paquette. Paquette with the shot. And that one's off the body and out of play here. A minute 47 gone in this third period. We're still tied at 3.
Yeah, so that second period was very interesting. It set up a very, very interesting third period here. Yes, Hearst dominated for most of it. They ended up scoring 2 goals right off the hop. But, of course, the Voodoos getting a big goal to tie things up in the later stages. And it's really set up anybody can win this game. And I think it really goes in the favor of the Voodoos.
Paquette with a shot turned aside by Seibel. Austin Seibel, his parents are in attendance for the first time in his Voodoos tenure, as they've made the trip from BC. Another chance, kicked aside again by Seibel.
It's always interesting to see people from all over the country and North America playing in this league. We've seen a lot of people from down south, or from the U.S., and as you said, people from out west.
Well, Cybele, Jackson Smith from Calgary. Again, Jack Nolan from the States. And now the puck hits the roof. Lots of local talent as well. Mason Rotundo, Caden Cowell, Caleb Dawson, Justin Russo.
Yeah, and it's a credit to, in this case for the Voodoos, it would be like a Peter Goulet and a Chris Dawson who helps get these people into the team and the way that they're able to recruit them. But it's a credit for any team in the NOJHL who are able to, again, go out and have these connections and find people who are willing to move up here and in a developmental league. And there's so many options out there. It's a credit to the league and it's a credit to the programs that they've created.
Ellard with the puck. Good pass there from Kratz to the near side for Smith. Kratz from Labrador City, Labrador. Speaking of people from a distance away.
There you go.
Denchuk takes a spill. Now going back in. Good play by McKillop. Knocked the puck away from his man. Now Rotundo picks it up.
I told you I'm a master of geography. I'm pretty sure that's in Newfoundland.
Newfoundland and Labrador. Schillinglaw takes a shot. Another save by Cybele. And the puck is cleared away. Now Jack Nolan flips it back around on the far side. Rotundo in a foot race to get to it. He does. Gets it to the blue line, but not out. Now kept in by Hearst. Rotundo picks it up, gets it to McKillop. Now Call. Down the ice for Dubroy. Dubroy flips it to the middle of the ice. McKillop has the puck on the near side. Adam McKillop tried to feed the puck out front. It just slid away from Nolan. Now down the ice again goes Hearst. Como with the puck to the near side for Schillinglaw. Schillinglaw goes cross ice again. The puck comes out though to Call. And now Call down the ice. And it's a foot race here going the other way. Walking in Rotundo takes the shot. He's hauled down. And that's a penalty shot for the Voodoos here. As what an effort there by Powassan leads to a penalty shot effort.
And this is going to be a huge moment in this game. And you don't see a penalty shot too often. I think this is the first penalty shot I've seen in this league since I've called games here.
Saw one last year on a call from Alex Little.
Now, and penalty shots are always interesting because you obviously get a great chance to score, but it almost feels like because there's no penalty afterwards that if it doesn't end up going in, you kind of get away with one. But this is going to be big. Rotundo, maybe not the well, we'll see what he does. Obviously, there are some people on this team that you would rather have in this situation, so we're going to see if Rotundo can come up to a big, big opportunity here.
Rotundo comes in slowly as he walks his way in. Rotundo walks in, saved by Boivin. Rotundo, the second-year defender, made a move. Boivin stayed with him, and now he bails out his teammates on that one.
Yeah, again, a tough situation for him to be in. He does a great job drawing that penalty. But again, he is, as you said, he's mainly a defenseman. It's not his forte there. And he does the best that he can, but Boivin able to get to cover the bottom of the net. He just can't raise it up over that pad.
Hearst off the draw, flips it down the ice. Now McKay walking in. McKay with a shot. That one's blocked by the Voodoos. Rebound comes out front, and they couldn't corral it. Hearst still with possession to Taylor. Taylor takes a shot, blocked aside by Cybele, and the puck is out of play.
That was impressive, though, because it hit off the Zamboni, whatever you want to call those.
The crosser.
the cross beam, and went back into play.
Ben Sargent, not only is he a geography major, but he really knows his words, too. Whatever those are called.
Whatever those are called. I don't know. Beams of steel.
Beams of steel.
Structural integrity.
The title of Ben's autobiography. Beams of Steel by Ben Sargent.
I'm not going to lie, that's a pretty cool name.
Well, there you go. When you write the book, I just want 5%.
Beams of Steel. Available this weekend.
And this weekend only. Yeah. Amazon bestseller, Ben Sargent. Boys. Battles, gets the puck back to Kratz. Kratz to the near side for Smith. Smith takes a shot. That one's blocked off the skates there of Vayu. Now Dawson with the puck again. Tried to get it back to Smith, but is picked off by Hearst. Kept in by Powassan, though, as Dawson sends the puck back in. Smith slow to get up. He had to leave his stick, though, as Vayu was on it. Now the Voodoos come away with it as Russo picks it off. Russo has his man all over him. Now it comes loose.
We've seen a number of sticks break from the Voodoos today. It's been a bad day to be a Voodoo stick.
Yeah, bad day to be the pocketbook. Cowell comes away with the puck. Caden Cowell walks in. Caden Cowell with a chance in Boivin. Oh my goodness. A big save there by Boivin.
Well, this is about the third opportunity the Voodoos have had where Boivin does a great job of taking away the bottom third of that net. But if they could just raise it up over that pad, if they could just get a solid stick on it, and Cowell does another great job stealing the puck there, making the opportunity happen. But at the end of the day, the finish is just not quite where it needs to be. And Boivin, again, able to make a really nice save.
Hearst with possession in their own zone. Sends the puck down the ice. McKillop picks it up, though. Goes far side for Rotundo. Now the puck back to Hearst. They get it down the ice. And that's going to go for icing. As Rotundo was back first.
Well, and there's so many opportunities, I think, in this so far in this first 6 minutes of the third period that you could go back and look at. Obviously, we have the Rotundo penalty shot. We have that opportunity there from Cowell, and depending on how the rest of this period shapes up, or if it ends up going a little bit longer, it might be some opportunities that we look back at. And
off the draw, puck put in, saved by Boivin off the tight angle chance. Coleman, far side now, sent towards the net. Dawson picks it up in the faceoff dot. His chance blocked, and Hearst on the counterattack. The Lumberjacks into Voodoo's territory. Roulette with the puck. Roulette has his man draped all over him. Boys tries to flip the puck down, but it's picked off by Miller and sent back. Now another chance, stopped by Seibel. That's his 39th shot of the game. 36th save, as he's had himself a heck of a game.
Yeah, I think, and regardless of how this game shapes up, I feel like Seibel's deserving of one of those 3 stars, as he is really, if the Voodoos win it, it's almost the first star. I know he's given up 3 goals, but he has really kept this team in it. He's made some great saves and some big moments, as Hearst again peppering him with almost 40 shots. And by the end of this game, he'll probably be closer to 55, 60 shots at this rate.
Kratz with the puck, gets it up and out of play. Well, we talk about Seibel. He doesn't have a winning record. He's 4-4 through his 10 games played, but his goals against average is 2.68 and his save percentage is .925.
Yeah, what's really hurt the Voodoos this season has just been their lack of goal scoring, and we've talked about it. They just haven't been able to put the puck in the net enough. They've obviously scored 3 goals in this game, but there's been a number of games where they've lost where they've only been able to put 1 or 2 by.
Ellard with a chance now. Ellard over to Schunborn with a chance. Save there by Boivin. As the Voodoos getting chance after chance after chance here in this third period. Has a good chance by Schunborn off a great pass by Ellard. Wow.
And here's another opportunity as well.
Coming in. Puck off a body. And out of play. Or I should say out of the zone. As Hearst picks it back up. Denchuk with it. Denchuk walking back in. Now going the other way, Schillinglaw. Gets the puck back in. Dubroy picks it up. Dubroy trying to get around his man. Now he blows a tire. And the puck punched down the ice by McKillop. He won't have the legs for icing, though, as Taylor gets to it. Taylor behind his own net, letting his guys set up. 12:20 left on the clock. 3-3 hockey game here. Hearst gets it into Voodoo's territory. Voodoos can't get it out as Bourdon Lemoyne sends it in. McKillop picks it up on the end wall. And gets it to Nolan. Nolan goes cross ice to Rotundo. Rotundo finds Dubroy, and it's just out of his reach as the puck just bounced off his stick. Now it's Nolan who keeps it in, though. Nolan lost the handle on it. Now Bourdon Lemoyne going the other way. Como, as the puck's back out, Taylor has to wait for it as it's going to be offside. Good chance here for Powassan as Call had the puck roll away from him on a good play by Hearst. So back into the Voodoos territory, Hearst goes with Patterson. Back to Miller, shot is blocked into the corner. Near side, Russo tries to flip it out. Sent back to the point, and Audrus with the shot, and that's stopped by Seibel there.
Well, Patterson really starts that last rush from Hearst as the Voodoos have really played their best stretch of minutes that they've seen in this entire game since the start of this third period. Whatever Peter Goulet said in that dressing room has worked because they have been the better team in this period. But Patterson, a really good job at his own blue line, starts a couple of good opportunities, but again, Seibel right where he needs to be to make that save. He has been absolutely fantastic tonight. 40 shots against, 37 saves.
Audrus with another shot, Seibel with another save. And we talk about Peter Goulet a lot, but I want to highlight the assistant coach, Vitaly Yachmanev, who played his OHL career with the North Bay Centennials and played some time with current battalion assistant coach Bill Holder. And Chris Dawson was talking to Bill Holder, and Bill Holder called Vitaly Yachmanev one of the 3 smartest players he's ever played with.
Wow. I don't know who else he's played with, but I'm sure there's that's a big compliment.
He's played almost 1,000 games in the NHL. That's Bill Holder. There's another chance blocked by the Voodoos. Dawson picks it up.
Yeah, lots of talent that's come out of this area. Of course, Battalion just recently having a big night there for Butch Turcotte and, of course, his son Darren.
Yeah, Darren Turcotte, very impressive NHL career. Russo gets the puck in deep. Boys goes after it. Miller left it. Russo picks it up. Russo plays it back to Smith. Smith's shot is sticked aside by Boivin. Now falling to the ice. That was Kratz on the far side. Couldn't get his pass to Dubroy off. Kratz kept the puck in briefly. And it's sent back in by Misa. Miller, far side to his man Audrus. Audrus sets up shop with 10:20 left on the clock. Audrus with the puck. Cowell comes in, makes him make a play. Now Schillinglaw sends it up the ice. Back down the ice. Another chance off the stick by Babiak, and it's out of play.
Well, it almost feels like if the game stays the same way or if Hearst ends up finding a winner later, something like that happens, that it'll really be a missed opportunity with the amount of chances the Voodoos have had. Again, easily the best 10 minutes that they've played in this entire game, and it goes to show you again how pivotal that second period was. Hearst had a chance to run away with the game. They didn't take it, and now the Voodoos really have the opportunity.
Cowell in for Dubroy. Dubroy with a shot, and what a save there by Boivin. As Dubroy and Cowell hooking up for a nice play on that one.
Yeah, Dubroy almost wanted to be a little bit further on the other side of the slot, maybe to make Boivin move a little bit more. Either way, though, positioning really solid there. And again, the Voodoos have had some really good opportunities. Right now what they need to do is they need to move Boivin left and right. They need to force him to show his lateral movement and make a mistake.
Now Babiak on the breakaway here, walking in, takes a shot, and that one missed the net. Seibel might have gotten a piece of that, but on the backhand chance by Babiak, he just put that one wide. Voodoos catching a break on that one. 9:40 left here in this third period as both teams now have had breakaways in this one. And a weird bounce off the board is kept in by Hearst, but Boys does get it down the ice.
Well, Babiak comes into this game with 10 goals, and you see that burst of speed just splits the defenders, and nearly just like that made it 4-3 Hearst with just about half of the period left.
Schillinglaw with the puck in his own zone. Schillinglaw, one of the top scoring defenders in the league right now with 21 points through 19 games. Turns and fires. That one's blocked by Nolan. Nolan was looking for his man Call down the ice, but Paquette picked off that pass. Paquette stops up on the near side wall. Throws across ice. Call picks it up. Puck knocked back down. Hay. And gets it to his man Allard. Now puck out front, picked off by Powassan. Call to the near side for Nolan. Nolan hits Call, and the puck's going to roll in on Boivin and covered up. And that'll bring us to a mid-period break here on the front line. We'll be back with more Voodoos hockey and the wrap-up of this third period on the other side of this.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And as promised, we're back Sorry if you were expecting something else, but it's Courtney and Ben here on the front line. And
sorry to disappoint.
Yeah. The geography major here.
Yep.
Beams of Steel by Ben Sargent, available everywhere.
Beams of Steel. Wednesdays on NBC.
That's one of my favorite gags on The Office is when Michael Scott's talking about his book that he's going to write called Somehow I Manage. It's the best name for a book.
Absolutely.
Doesn't get very far with it, but here we are. Also, again, happy birthday to cameraman Mike Brown, who's always here and quite the trooper.
You guys have a big day tomorrow.
Yeah, him and I are going to see a lot of kilometers together as we drive to Temiskaming to broadcast the U18 Trappers game. And then we have to boogie on back to Powassan to do the Eagles and Voodoos game tomorrow night. 3-3 game with 8:36 left on the third period. Courtney and Ben here. Harrison down at ice level, getting some great shots as well on social media. So go follow the front line on social media and check out all the rinkside action. McKillop off the draw, sends it in deep as we're back underway. Audris with the puck. Sends the puck down the ice, flips it down. McKillop settles it down. Banks the puck out of his own zone. Russo takes a hit, but he gets the puck to Boys, and Boys sends it in. Puck bounces off the end board. Dawson shovels it back in. Russo picks it back up. Now Patterson tried to get to it, but Russo picks it up on the half wall on the far side. Dawson shovels it right back in, and Audris picks it up in his own zone. Audris down the ice, and that's going to go for icing against Hearst as Rotundo is the first one back. So Powassan will get another offensive zone draw with 7:55 on the clock.
Well, as we draw about to the halfway mark of the season almost already, right now the Voodoos are tied with 18 points with the Paper Kings, 2 points ahead of the Iroquois Storm. Both teams in action tonight, actually, when we talk about how important these points can be. Timmins right now lead Iroquois 3-2 near the end of that second period. Espanola is down 6-2 to the Elliott Lake Vikings.
Wow.
Just the start of the third period.
Off the draw, the Paper Kings, the Lumberjacks. The Lumberjacks who create the Paper Kings.
Yeah, I guess so.
Played a bank pass and it bounced in on Seibel. He just covered it up.
And the only other game is Sioux, Michigan, up 6-3 over Kirkland Lake, which, of course, tomorrow Sioux will be here to face the Voodoos. And the last time those two faced was the other day when Sioux won.
Yeah, in the Sioux.
Yep.
Sioux Mich. Got a chance to go up to Kirkland Lake a couple of weekends ago. My first time ever. It's a very nice rink in Kirkland Lake. Very nice atmosphere, too. Just that team hasn't really been putting together a strong effort these past few years, so the stands are, well, a little full, not as full as they could be. Puck back to Taylor at the point. He knocks it back in, but wide of the net. Now Dubroy picks it up on the far side wall, and it's back to the blue line for Hearst. Dubroy blocks Schillinglaw's attempt, and now he's knocked all over Schillinglaw, and both of them are down on the ice still. Dubroy gets off his man, and the puck's sent into Hearst territory, but not for long as Hearst gets it out. Kratz pinching up, couldn't quite get to the puck, and Kalen gets to it. And now we're going to see a penalty called against Hearst, as that's going to be a bench minor on the team. As Schillinglaw is going to get a call and go to the box, as he was, I guess, getting a little bit too mouthy with the referees.
Either that or it was one of the coaches. But either way, that's maybe it was Schillinglaw. He's not very happy as he takes the frustrations out on his stick, and that might be a big break here for the Voodoos. We talk about it being 3-3. The Hearst has dominated a lot of this game. The Voodoos have played well, but Hearst has really played well in the first 40 minutes. But this third period has been all Voodoos so far for the most part. And this is a great opportunity for them at the dying stages of this game to take the lead and take the 2 points.
Schillinglaw, the most productive defenseman offensively, is now going to sit in the box likely for the rest of this game, as that's going to be a 10-minute call. Now Coleman nearly gave it away in front of his goaltender, and he sends the puck down the ice. Paquette gets to it. Sends it right back in. Hearst, bodies flying everywhere along the near side wall. Yeah, 10 minutes for unsportsmanlike to Schillinglaw.
But still 5-on-5.
Yes. Could you imagine a 10-minute power play? My God. As Cal, Dipsy doodles his way in, It's too tight, though, as his pass finds no one, and Hearst back on the counterattack. Walking in. Another chance. Seibel with another save. And the puck comes loose.
Well, you say that about the 10-minute power play, but I think it was last year, there was at one point, there was like 7 minutes of penalty power play time in a row.
Yeah.
Can't remember if it was the Battalion or if it was.
Yeah, the Battalion had a 7-minute power play actually earlier this year. Nolan with the puck. Gains the red line. Gets it up for Rotundo with a shot. And that one hit a body and went wide. Rotundo trying to get back on the scoreboard here as Rotundo walks in. Sends it back off the end wall. And now Dawson in there. Dawson pokes the puck free. And Hearst comes away with it. Now Miller comes away. And is picked up by Russo. Back to Miller. Miller throws the puck in cross ice. Dawson on the far side gets to it. McKillop picks it up. McKillop back to Dawson. Dawson flipping it down the ice. Miller had it off his glove and Boyes picks it up. Boyes walks in, throws the puck towards the net. It's blocked by Hearst. And Boyes trying to get the puck back to the blue line. Dawson comes in for help. But now the other way goes Como. Como lost it, but it's kept in by Patterson. Patterson with a shot. Seibel with another save. As we're into 4.5 minute territory here. Hearst, Como has the puck. Back in. Flipped back to the blue line. Audris, Russo collide. Now in a dangerous area, trying to get the shot away was Hearst, but it just went wide. Allard with the puck out front. Find Paquette. Puck is blocked. And now Allard with the puck again. Back to Paquette. Paquette. Back to Allard. One-time attempt is blocked by Russo. And Russo sends the puck out of danger and down the ice. That won't be icing, though, as it hit Paquette on the way down. And Audris picks it up in his own zone. Audris lets his mates get set up behind his net. He gives his puck to his mate. Down the ice they go, but picked off by Cowell. Cowell, who's looked dangerous all game long, had the puck knocked away from him. Now going the other way is Hearst. McKay to Veyu. Veyu with the shot. Seibel, another save. That's his 44th shot against. He's made 41 saves.
Well, it feels like both teams are in a bit of a stalemate here as they're both kind of going back and forth. One thing I was thinking about, with the way that the penalty boxes are here, they're right beside the bench.
Yep.
Do you think it's more or less awkward to get, especially a 10-minute misconduct, but you're right there? I wonder if it'd be interesting, just because I feel like you feel a little bit more shame because you're...
Voodoos here with a chance. Cowell in a foot race. Cowell walks in, takes a shot, stopped by Boivin, as that was a good effort there by the Hearst defender all over Caden Cowell. One of the more hotter players in the league recently. Now back to DuBrois. Puck now on the ice. DeBox has to go pick it up in his own zone. DeBox near side to Coleman. I'll have an answer for you at the next break, Ben, about the penalty box question. As the puck coming up the ice, Hearst trying to get it back in. They do get it out of their zone, though. And now Schunborn has it. Schunborn with the puck. Coleman sends the puck, rims it around the perimeter. And Nolan gets it to Schunborn. Now going the other way, kept in by Call. Schunborn, nice little pass, couldn't find Nolan though. As now the puck comes loose again for Hearst. Down the ice, Hearst with some speed. Comes in, sharp angle, goes around behind the net. And the puck comes loose. Rotundo tried to glove it down. And it's still in the corner. Schunborn battles for it. Now near side, hit the side of the net for Hearst. McKillop still battling for it. Knocks it down to the blue line, but not out. Kalen back for Schunborn. Schunborn couldn't settle the puck down. Puck comes out. McKillop was there to stop that chance. And now Powassan sends the puck down the ice and will go for a quick change. Hearst quickly back down the ice. Back to Rotundo. Rotundo looking for Boyes. That'll go for icing though. As now Hearst will get an offensive zone draw with 1:30 left on the clock. I've been down there doing public address.
Yep.
And if there's any shame, the players don't convey it.
Interesting. Okay.
But I've always been on the away side, right, because that's where the public address announcer stands. And they don't usually, they'll actually crack some jokes sometimes. Maybe that's their nervousness. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of players crack some jokes before. I've also had a player step on my foot with a skate blade, and that was fun. Didn't cut me, but
that doesn't sound fun.
No. 0 to 10 would not recommend it. Hurt a lot. Didn't cut me, though, which is a good thing.
I guess it's different because usually you're isolated. You're kind of all alone. It's just you and the game official.
Yeah.
So I guess, you kind of, well, you see they're having a little chit-chat over there.
I usually tell them here, this door sucks, just hop at the end of the power play. Like, it's so hard to open that door sometimes.
Yep.
And then you got to make sure that the door's closed, so I don't want to be doing it. Just hop. As we're back underway, Voodoos trying to get it out of their zone. They can't. Como sends the puck to the front of the ice. It's picked off by Russo to Dawson. Dawson sends it down. Now Miller with the puck in his own zone. 1:05 on the clock here. 3-3 hockey game. Miller down the ice. Big hit by Russo. And now Boyce going the other way. Anthony Boyce with a chance, and that one stopped by Boivin. 50 seconds on the clock. Justin Russo just ran over his man at center ice, though. Wow, what a hit. Now going the other way, Hearst still in their own zone with 30 seconds left on the clock. 3-3 game. As they just set up for one more attempt here. Now with some speed. Stopping up. It's Babiuk. Sends it far side for Audris. Audris nearly had the puck picked off, but now Dubroy does get to it. Now a chance here for Cowell. Cowell, sharp angle, takes the shot. Saved again by Boivin. As now the puck back to the wall, and it looks like we're destined for overtime here, as this game's going to run out on regulation. Tied at 3 apiece. Wow.
Well, and that was the funny thing about that period was the best we've seen the Voodoos play all game. That was a great 20 minutes from them. And if you looked at it just from that 20 minutes alone, you'd almost say the Voodoos deserved to win this game. And we talked about, again, I mentioned this in the second period, how it's such an important period because Hearst had their opportunities to score multiple goals. They could have been up 5-2, 5-3 after that period. They don't take advantage of that. The next thing you know, again, Jack Nolan takes advantage of a bad giveaway, makes it 3-3, and we get kind of a very even game between these two in this third period, and now we're going to have a very fun overtime.
Well, for those of you at home that have not read the NOJHL rule book,
or me, who's never seen overtime yet this year,
it's 3-on-3 for 7 minutes, and if the game ends in a tie, it ends in a tie.
Brings me back. The one Leafs game I went to go see way back in the day. We actually got to play on the ice on the Air Canada Center, so that was cool.
And you're a Habs fan.
I know, it was disgusting. But I was young. I was in tights. But anyways.
Wait. So what, Mr. Bars of Steel over here, Steel Bars or whatever.
Steel Beam?
Steel
Bars?
Yeah,
Steel Bars,
Steel Beams.
Barsfield?
You got to play at the Rogers Center and the Air Canada Center.
I did, and the game ended, it was against the Flyers. It ended in a 1-1 tie, and I fell asleep in the only time the Leafs scored.
Thrilling.
Yeah, it wasn't a very thrilling game.
Kratz with some speed here in overtime. Loses the puck. Now Nolan, good chance there, as he was able to get the puck back to his forehand and get a shot away, and we'll get a stop there.
It's interesting, though, about the 7 minutes. It's like, do they see the 2 minutes as kind of a substitution for the shootout?
I guess so. I think they figure that, the more games that go, 3-on-3, eventually someone's going to score, right?
That's how most hockey games go. Yep.
Thanks. But 3-on-3 is usually, there's a lot of big chances like we just saw with Nolan right there. Now off the draw, Hearst has possession. That's Patterson. As Como now with the puck in his own zone. Como gains Voodoo's territory, walks in, takes a shot, he scores! And Hearst wins this one in overtime, as over the glove hand side again of Seibel. That's where they scored all their goals.
Well, that looked the exact same as that opening goal that I believe it was Ouellette scored back in the back in that first period, right just over the glove side. And Seibel has been so good in this game. He's seen 45 shots, but that's the one area, if you're going to take a negative out of that, it's that one area is that glove side, and they took advantage of it. As the Voodoos salute the fans who came out here. But here's the thing, though, when you look at this, yes, they got a point out of it, but you have to be really happy with that performance. Hearst is in a really good team, as we said, probably the second best team in this league, and we've seen how good they are. The fact that Voodoos stood toe for toe with them, they found 3 goals where they've struggled to score this season. They did a good job of keeping the puck out of the net. They stopped the goals. There's a lot of positives that Peter Goulet and his team can get, and I think at the end of the day, you get the point, and you have to be happy with that, but still frustrated that that third period, they had the opportunities to win it in regulation.
Well, the Voodoos have 1 point out of a possible 4 this weekend. The most that they can gain is 3. And they're now on a 4-game losing skid, so 3 straight in regulation and 1 now in overtime. So that's their first point in almost 2 weeks for Powassan here as they fall 4-3 against the Hearst Lumberjacks in the first meeting between these two teams this year. The Voodoos will be back in action again tomorrow at 7 o'clock here when they host the Sioux Eagles for a rematch from last week. And you got to think that the Voodoos are looking for a bit of revenge on that game. And before we go, Ben, your final thoughts?
Yeah, again, overall, I think both teams have to be very happy with how they played. It was a really exciting game, probably one of the best, if not the best game that I think I've seen from in terms of an overall hockey entertainment thing from the Voodoos this season. It was great. I'm excited for other games that these two are going to play, and I think you really have to seriously look at Hearst this year, potentially winning the league if they can get over Greater Sudbury. I think they're going to be a force in the playoffs. They looked very, very strong here tonight.
Once again, Ben Sargent, master of words with this hockey entertainment thing.
And geography.
And geography. We cannot forget the geography.
Nope, it's the place to be, I was told.
Yes, it is. Thanks.
One last
pun. That was terrible. Oh, my goodness. That one went right over my head for a split second. I was like,
geography class, it's the place to be.
This is why we shouldn't do games together anymore. Anyways.
We got one till next Friday night.
Yeah, it can't come soon enough. Anyways, that'll do it. Tomorrow, the Frontline will be in Temiskaming as the North Bay U18 Trappers travel there to play a home game of all things. And then we'll be back in action again tomorrow night here at the Sportsplex against the Sioux Eagles. My 5 hockey games in 4 days. We're 2 in. We got 3 more to go. Should be exciting. Anyways, that'll do it here. I'm Courtney Kenny. He's Ben Sargent. Mike Brown, the camera operator. Harrison from the Garrison down in the corner getting social media stuff for us. As always, keep your eye on the Frontline.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalie resiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency.